Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Thank you for joining us today on our last day of Thank You for Csci week of programming. I'm Adrienne, the Executive Director of Chicago's Sister Cities, which is an initiative of World Business Chicago. We're here today to celebrate our 60th anniversary and to recognize the impact in Chicago and our sister cities, and to honor our volunteers. The power of citizen diplomacy, the power that it has to impact peace, impact a city, and impact an individual is immeasurable. Before I share our impact, I'd like to start at the beginning for those of you who are new to our program. And everyone, please pay attention because there will be trivia at the end, with the winner receiving a gift certificate to one of our Taste of Sister Cities to Go restaurants. There has always been, since ancient times, partnership and diplomacy between cities. In the United States, the People-to-People program was established by President Dwight D. Eisenhower. He first imagined it when he was a general liberating concentration camps after World War II. After becoming president, his idea of peace through understanding continued to grow during the Cold War. President Eisenhower decided to launch a people-to-people meeting on September 11th, 1956. He believed that everyday citizens wanted a more peaceful world and could achieve it more effectively without government interference. Through educational, cultural, and humanitarian activities involving the exchange of ideas and experiences directly among peoples of different countries and diverse cultures. Here's a clip from the White House Summit.
If we are going to take advantage of the assumption that all people want peace, then the problem is for people to get together, to leap governments, if necessary, to evade governments, to work out not one method, but thousands of methods by which people can gradually learn a little bit more of each other. The problem is, how do we dispel ignorance? How do we present our own case? How do we strengthen friendships? How do we learn of others? These are the problems. I am talking about the exchange of professors and students and executives, the providing of technical assistance and the ordinary traveler abroad, about doctors helping in the conquering of disease, our free labor unions showing people, other peoples, how they work, what they earn, how they achieve their pay, and to show how we do it, and then to sit down between us to say, now how do we improve the lot of both of us? In this way, I believe, is the truest path to peace. All of the other things that we do are mere palliatives, or they are holding the line that, in the opinion of this administration, there is no more important work than that in which we are asking you to participate. Because there is no problem before the American people, indeed before the world, that so colors everything else we do, so colors our thinking, our actions, as does the problem of preserving a peace and providing for our own security. If we are going to
If you have the time, I highly encourage you to watch the full 10-minute video. It's definitely from its era with tons of references about Russia and the Iron Curtain, but very interesting piece of history. President Eisenhower truly believed that citizen diplomacy was the key to peace and the end of war. From this, the idea was born for an official Sister Cities organization. 4 years later, Mayor Richard J. Daley signed Chicago's first Sister City Agreement with Warsaw, Poland. This was a really natural connection to Chicago with a large and vibrant Polish community, and at the time, Chicago had more Polish residents than anywhere else outside of Warsaw. Since 1960, Chicago has fully embraced the movement and the vision set forth by President Eisenhower and has built the largest and most active sister city program in the country, with 29 sister cities in 28 countries and over 600 volunteers who work tirelessly to advance Chicago as a global city and promote peace through mutual respect, understanding, and cooperation through citizen diplomacy, one individual, one community at a time, for the benefit of Chicago and its sister cities. One key to our success is that we've always had the support of the mayors of Chicago. They recognize the power of the movement and that the committees reflect the great diversity of the city of Chicago. Mayor Lightfoot is no exception, and she's embraced not only the idea of citizen diplomacy, but also cities learning from each other and exchanging best practices during the pandemic. We are fortunate that her first, and as it turned out, only international trip to our sister city was to our sister city of Toronto earlier this year. Here are some remarks from Amy Eshelman, Chicago's First Lady, who is also a great supporter of sister cities.
Hello, I'm Amy Eshelman, the First Lady of the City of Chicago. These difficult times are showing us how we truly notice the absence of connections to each other, our neighbors, and the rest of the world. So let's take a moment to recognize and honor these important connections. And in Chicago, that means the diverse places around the world we are proud to call our sister cities. So on behalf of my wife, Mayor Lori Lightfoot, I'd like to thank and congratulate Chicago's Sister Cities International on its 60th anniversary. President Eisenhower created Sister Cities International to serve as a champion for peace and prosperity by fostering bonds between people from different communities around the world. A few years later, in 1960, Chicago established its first sister city relationship with Warsaw, Poland. Since then, Chicago's become one of the leading sister cities organizations in the United States, boasting 29 sister cities and more than 600 volunteers. Chicago's Sister Cities International strives to promote peace through mutual respect, understanding, and cooperation, one individual, one community at a time. To learn more and get involved, please visit chicagosistercities.com. Thanks again, and congratulations on 60 years of citizen diplomacy.
I'd like to echo the First Lady in thanking our volunteers. Thank you for 60 years. Thank you for volunteering. Thank you for your energy, and thank you for being citizen ambassadors of Chicago. Throughout the week, we've heard incredible stories about the impact that our program has had in Chicago and in people's lives, and seeing the passion that our volunteers have. The most difficult part about planning this anniversary celebration has been narrowing down which of the thousands of our stories to tell. If you miss any of the programs, we'll have the recordings available soon. And there are too many stories to tell here today, but I'll just go briefly through the week. We heard about our social service exchanges with 7 of our sister cities. Over 2,000 delegates have participated in them over the past 25 years. And that's led to a number of policy changes and improved programming for youth, homeless populations, and aging populations. We've learned about the numerous humanitarian initiatives we've had, how a community can come together practically overnight to raise funds for tragic disasters in our sister cities, how they make sure that no one forgets them in the case of the annual Kizuna photography project about the Great Japanese Earthquake and Tsunami, and about how a cold call to a local hearing aid company led to over $1 million in donations and training in 3 of our sister cities after hearing that there was a need for it. And we've had numerous medical initiatives that have helped provide medical care and equipment all over the world, including a clinic in Casablanca that was renovated and stocked with medical equipment. Education exchanges have the power to change a person's perspective and outlook and broaden their understanding of the world. This can be life-changing. This week we heard about the amazing school exchanges, 40 with Paris alone, that our committees have organized. Sorry, speaking of medical, there's an ambulance going by, sorry about that. We learned about the STEAM Museum, a virtual museum built by students in Casablanca and Chicago working together, where they learn not only about science and tech, but about each other. And we celebrated the Global Youth Ambassadors Leadership Summit, which brings teenage girls from around the world to learn about each other while meeting with top female leaders. Hosting delegations is a core part of what we do, and we've learned how powerful these visits can be. They play a pivotal role in accomplishing our mission of citizen diplomacy, building connections and strengthening relationships on both the individual and the city level. The mayors learning from each other about things like water innovation projects, to sports diplomacy, and students traveling, to business delegations to Mexico City, and Ukrainian journalists visiting their American counterparts to discuss fake news. Many delegations result in opportunities for new projects and collaborations. This ripple effect can have tremendous impact in the months and years following a delegation. This week, we also talked about our community impact. Our members are leaders in their communities, and our programming reflects the passion they have about making an impact in their communities. Our impact is far-reaching. We've participated in multiple public art projects, and we've heard about murals in Chicago and our sister cities. We also host very important events, such as the annual Gandhi Luncheon, which we host to remember his legacy that's still so important today. We heard about community iftar dinners and fundraisers to support local schools and veterans and make sure that their heroic acts are always remembered. Hundreds of our programs over the years have been to the benefit of the people of Chicago and in their sister cities, and to help inform our citizens. And as part of World Business Chicago, we've facilitated dozens of business exchanges and business connections. We work closely with our volunteers, our international partners, and our colleagues at World Business Chicago to help drive business. This year, even in the middle of the pandemic, we had successful virtual exchanges with Shanghai, Osaka, and Hamburg. The relationships that our volunteers have built over the years have opened the doors for our economic development work. And it's interesting, as we talk about impact, a challenge that all sister city organizations across the country face is how to measure impact. Business diplomacy is about making connections, people learning about each other and how they are the same or different from each other. It's about broadening global perspectives and helping build cultural competency. It's about introducing the world to our youth across the city and helping them to understand international relations. And it's about supporting our diverse neighborhoods. It's about increasing economic development with our global partners and through the connections of our committee members. The value that Chicago Sister Cities International brings to the community is crucial to help making Chicago a global city. Some of the outcomes of our programming can take years to see. Some we will never see because they are about changing perspectives and opening hearts. And that type of outlook permeates all decisions that individuals make. But that said, the numbers that we do have are impressive. And with this part, feel free to guess in the chat some of our numbers. Over the past 10 years, never mind the past 60 years, we have hosted how many events and programs? Take a guess in the chats. Let's see, 10,000. Ella, sometimes it feels like 10,000. Stephanie says 2,000. 2,000 is actually 680 at least. That does not include the multiple partner events that we have with other organizations where we help support it. And we have hosted how many delegations? These are delegation trips themselves, not individuals. We have hosted Eric, welcome Eric, who's a former employee of Sister Cities. We have hosted 236. So the numbers are kind of the average of the guesses. So that's individual delegations over the past 10 years. That includes over 200 Sister City doctors who have participated in the Lynn Sage Breast Cancer Symposium. And how many social service professionals do you think we've hosted? We've hosted 2,000. They participated in a number of exchanges over the past 25 years, I should say. And so that's a whole lot. Some of you are making me feel like maybe I should have done more, but I think that a lot of those are people who come through that sometimes we don't even hear about, who our committee members reach out to and help. Also, our committee members have facilitated millions of dollars worth of medical equipment, training, and procedures. And tens of thousands of students have participated in education exchanges. And that includes 850 in the STEAM Museum of Casablanca, and 385 young females leaders from across our sister cities in the Global Youth Ambassadors Leadership Program. Please pat yourself on the back for the extraordinary work that you have all accomplished. We are very grateful. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Andrea Sapp, the President and CEO of World Business Chicago. Andy has been an incredible champion of Sister Cities since well before she joined WBC, and we're lucky for her support. Andy.
Thank you, Adrienne. and welcome everyone. I'm thrilled to be here to recognize Sister City's 60 years of incredible work. You have seen through the remarks that Adrienne just gave and the numbers and the pictures over the course of the week what we have accomplished, what you, I shouldn't say we, you have accomplished over the last 60 years. And just really just the numbers, you think just that was just 10 of the 60 years. So there's a whole nother 50 years of work that wasn't even accounted for in the numbers that Adrienne gave you. It has been one of my great privileges as president and CEO of World Business Chicago to be engaged directly with sister cities. I had the opportunity to work with sister cities and numerous delegations when I was the deputy mayor, but obviously have become much closer to it in my time as CEO here, and have seen firsthand the powerful work. And what I love about sister cities and what I think was so important about Adrienne's remarks is to really take President Eisenhower's words and then see them come to life on a regular basis in the work that you all do as volunteers and have been doing across the programs. It is truly what we are about, citizen to citizen diplomacy. And that diplomacy helps us at World Business Chicago not only promote Chicago as a leading global city and develop it, but also establish and really highlight one of our great strengths, which is that we are so diverse and a welcoming city. And we are where we have relationships and are connected around the world. And your work at Sister Cities helps us do that on a regular basis. I myself had the privilege to travel on several Sister Cities trips. My very first international trip at World Business Chicago was to Casablanca as part of a Sister Cities exchange where we were doing part of our mural exchange, and we took an incredible muralist, Sam Kirk, to Casablanca to do her mural, a beautiful mural that she did on the side of a building right by the ocean there, and got to see our Sister Cities partner there in Casablanca, and it was amazing and powerful. That same year, I got to travel to our sister city of Osaka and meet and speak at a women's forum organized by Sister City members. Again, an incredibly powerful trip that laid the foundation of our trip later the next year with Mayor Emanuel to Osaka to establish a relationship with the 1871, our innovation hub, and the Osaka Innovation Hub. So very powerful trip. Also had the opportunity to travel, as Adrienne said, to Toronto with Mayor Lightfoot's first trip, and also last year to Bogota on a Sister Cities trip, where we also participated in an exchange, one of the exchanges that Belltone had for hearing aids for students. So just incredibly powerful, moving trips where, again, we just see how connected, as First Lady Amy Eshelman said, how connected we all are around the world. Here at home, we've welcomed delegations, participated in powerful programs like the Kizuna Memorial of the tsunami in Japan, the marathon activities where we got to see all the stations along the trip, Mahatma Gandhi Day, and one of my favorite days was doing yoga in the park with a whole lot of other people on International Yoga Day with the Delhi Committee and Polish Heritage Month, and we could go on and on about the events that you do. As Elle says, it seems a little bit like 10,000, maybe not quite that much, but I will tell you that you have the impact of those kinds of events. And they are moving and connected and fun and engaging and a really important part of showing who we are here in Chicago. And that is a city that is home for everyone. So it is really just a privilege to work with you all And as everyone has said, but I just want to make sure that we reiterate and make sure how much you know that we know. There is no Sister Cities program without all of you. Our heart and soul of Sister Cities is our volunteers, and your passion for the work and your passion for your colleagues across the world. Without that, it doesn't happen. And so we cannot thank you enough. And the goal of this week was to recognize what we've accomplished, to remember some of the fun things that we've done, amazing things that we've done, but mostly simply to recognize you and your commitment. Many of you have been here with Sister Cities for decades, and we are truly, truly grateful for your making this organization live up to the principles that were there from when President Eisenhower founded it, of people to people, citizen diplomacy, recognizing that we have so much more that connects us than what separates us. So thank you so very much, and congratulations on 60 years. We look forward to many, 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 many more years of your great work. So thank you.
Thank you, Andy, and I wholeheartedly agree. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Jose Luis Prado. Jose Luis was appointed as chairman of Chicago Sister Cities late last year, and together we made the best plans for our 60th anniversary. So I really appreciate his leadership and working with us this year as we worked through the pandemic and took our work virtual, and no less impactful. Jose Luis.
Thank you, Adrienne. I would like to start by telling you, Andy, that your passionate, generous, and inspiring support to the Sister Cities organization has been truly, truly remarkable and has made a huge difference. So good evening to everybody. It's my honor and pleasure to serve as the chairman of the Chicago Sister Cities International. And to me, it has been humbling to see this recap of only 10 years of what the organization has been accomplishing. I am sure that in this extraordinary and disruptive year, all of us have been deeply reflecting on what is important in our lives. In my case, I have just realized that we are truly social, and that connecting with others is one of the most fulfilling and important aspects of our personal and professional endeavors. I had the opportunity to work a long career with PepsiCo that took me to live in 6 countries and work with over 30 countries around the world. And that was a unique opportunity to appreciate different cultures. And I got this special appreciation on what could be achieved when you establish that connection. So the concept of working with you in this extraordinary organization and concept is really, really exciting, and it's truly an honor. So we have seen that a group of visionary leaders planted the seed to create the Sister City program. And as 60 years ago, we started this journey in Chicago, that I think it's a fantastic place from which we can build these connections. I think that I found that Chicago is a special place in the world. I told you that I visited many, many places. When I retired, I could have been to and gone to many other cities, but I decided to make Chicago my home. And it was not just only for the beauty of the city, it was for the character and the richness of the people in the organizations that are here. So I believe that we can be focused precisely on building connections between citizens and leaders from Chicago and our sister cities, using and leveraging this concept of citizen diplomacy, a concept that for me establishes that small groups of committed people leaders and citizens can actually change the world and make a huge difference. Through the work of our leaders and volunteers, the work of the organization touches and inspires many lives, as we have seen, contributing solutions to the many challenges of our times, reaching and connecting interested citizens and leveraging the treasures of our diverse cultures, perspectives, and experiences that are really a treasure. So we are starting to envision, as we reflect on our past, where we could go from here. They say that timing is everything. And so my timing couldn't have been better to come in the pandemic year with you. That to me has only served to highlight the importance of the organization, because I think that the work that we have ahead of us will be more important than ever. And so I just wanted to share 2 or 3 ideas of where Adrienne, Andy, and I are discussing that we can go from here. 3 concepts. The first one is we want to connect and collaborate at the next level among all our committees in the city, because we want to increase the scale and impact of our joint initiatives. So connecting starts at home, among ourselves. And that's where this year we have activated a level of connection as never before between the committees. And I think that will be very powerful. We will also leverage the liberating power of these virtual and digital tools to connect to our sister cities abroad. And I think that this technology, as we have experienced during this year, will allow us not only to have the face-to-face connections that are so important, but we can also multiply that with many more virtual engagements. And I think that can be a great source of innovation, innovative ways of connecting with our sister cities there. And finally, since the recovery of our cities will be so important after the pandemic solution arrives, we are going to focus on supporting recovery efforts and certainly celebrating with our sister cities our recovered humanity. With all this in mind, I want to celebrate and congratulate all of you for these first 60 years of achievements and express my deepest appreciation for the work of our 600-strong team and amazing leaders and volunteers and abroad in achieving this important milestone. I have the clear conviction that the best is yet to come for this fantastic organization. So congratulations to all of you, and thank you for everything you do. So back to you, Adrienne.
Thank you, Jose Luis, for your beautiful words, and I couldn't agree more. And we're so grateful that you came on when you did, because I think you're exactly right. It's at the perfect time to help us think differently and continue to lead through the pandemic and beyond. And now we'd like for our volunteers to share. We'd love to hear from you about what citizen diplomacy means to you, why you volunteer with Chicago Sister Cities, and what's been your favorite initiative. So feel free to either share in the chats or share through the screen.
Well, I'm Stephanie Emrich. I'm bonjour. I'm from the Paris Committee. I've been on the Paris Committee for all of its 24 years. I'm wearing a museum behind me known as the Museum of Contemporary Art because it's one of the few museums that wasn't around in its current state when I joined Sister Cities. So this is a poetic license today. I think watching Chicago evolve and its connection to the universe widely and making us a world-class city has everything to do, I get a little choked up, it has everything to do with the global nature of who we are and who we live next door to and who's across the street. And Andrea and the whole team at Sister Cities, I have such a big heart for you with here you are accolading us. No, really at the core of all of this, I've seen you in every situation, and there's a lot to say, and there's a lot of people who want to speak, but it really is, Chicago is a world city. It is truly the welcome mat of our United States, and thank you for everything.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. It's such a joy having you volunteer with us on the Paris Committee, and you always bring light to whatever room you're in, and the work that you do with the concierge group just keeps welcoming Chicago, or welcoming people to Chicago, and make sure that they walk away with a great memory. So thank you for everything.
Pleasure.
So would anybody else like to share?
Hi, it's Gabrielle Buckley from the Galway Sister Cities Committee. And I first became a member of a Sister Cities Committee by joining the Osaka Committee. At the time, which was a long time ago, there was not that much going on. And the Galway Sister Cities Committee was doing so much more exciting stuff that I swapped and I moved over to Galway. And I've been there, I don't know, 14 years maybe. And we've had such wonderful people. We've had exchanges of beautiful statues, including the one near Old St. Pat's, and we supported a garden in Galway that was dedicated to organ donation. But we've had just some wonderful events and trips back and forth, and we have many visitors from Ireland who come and meet with the Galway Sister Cities Committee. But it's really been Adrienne and the staff that have made sure this has all happened. So I have to echo Stephanie in appreciation that we have for Adrienne and now Jess and all the other newer staff, well, newer since 14 years ago, who've been really making this a wonderfully run organization. And I also have to give special applause to the program that unfortunately gets kind of derailed this year with the having young women, high school students coming from different countries to the US. I think that's a terrific program, and I'm looking forward to it resuming once we are all allowed to travel and associate with one another.
Thank you, Gabrielle, and thank you for hosting the students one year at your offices. And I think this more than anybody taught us that you can still stay connected virtually, because when they got together over Zoom, they did not let distance stop them from learning everything there was to know about each other. But I think one of my favorite memories of Sister Cities is when you brought your mother to Galway during one of the Circle of Life things, and she kind of patted my hand as I was sobbing uncontrollably, like as we recognize organ donors and the lives that they touched. So that's one of the other beautiful things about Sister Cities, is that you bring in your friends and your family, and the circle of citizen diplomacy keeps growing. So thank you.
I'll jump in. Oh, wait.
Hi, Ruben.
Hi, I'm Ruben Ocampo with the Bogota Committee. I've been a member of the committee since 2012, I believe. I co-chaired it for 5 years with Marcelino Garcia. And first of all, I want to say congratulations to Adrienne, Anel, Jess, who else is here? Ella, who am I missing from the staff anyway? And I also want to thank Andrea for your leadership. Jose Luis, it's great to meet you. And I also see other people from World Business Chicago, like my good friend Abin here. So I agree with Gabrielle, by the way. My favorite program, thinking about Sister Cities as a whole, is the Leadership Summit. Anytime that I've had a chance to attend any one of those events, it just blows my mind what smart, amazing young women from all around the world are talking about and thinking about, and the relationships they get to forge with each other. I actually got to speak with one from Bogota that Ella put me in touch recently that I hadn't met before, and it's just, I know that especially at that age, those kinds of experiences and the opportunity to have access to people like us can be really, really shaping and really life-changing. The concept of citizen diplomacy, for me, it's a beautiful one. One of my kind of favorite memories, I wouldn't call it, one of the biggest accomplishments of the committee, but coordinating with 3 or 4 different committees to put an event together was, for me, so rewarding and satisfying, because I got to know people from the Paris committee, the Hamburg committee, the Mexico City committee, and we just put together a really beautiful celebration that centered around the 10th anniversary of the Bogota committee, but really it became a celebration of all the committees that took part of that. And for someone who's lived in different parts of the world, this idea of citizen-to-citizen diplomacy, it's just really, dear to my heart, especially when we're so landlocked in a city like Chicago that tends to not be the place where we're thinking about international relations. I think Sister Cities provides a home. Fun fact is, I've lived in the 2 newest sister cities of Chicago, right? I've lived in both Bogota and Sydney, Australia. So I think it just provides a really great way of staying in touch with places that have a special place in our hearts. That's it for me.
Thank you. That was beautiful. And I love that. It resides with home. Thank you, Ruben. And Consul General, did you have something to say? I'm sorry. Oh, you sent a chat. Thank you. Please allow me to congratulate you once more. And we really appreciate your friendship and your support with our Athens sister city. Thank you. And I think Julie, we'll end with Julie Stagliano with the Casablanca Committee.
Okay, I'm using my phone, so I'm not quite sure how it's working. You're hearing me okay?
Yes.
Are you hearing me okay?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, good. Okay, thanks. I just wanted to say, as someone who's walked in Adrienne's shoes some years back in the early 2000s, as served as director of the Sister Cities program, and I've watched it evolve and grow, and it's just been tremendously, insightful for me to see how all these new committees have emerged, and great projects, innovative projects that would never have been imagined back in the day. Also, I want to thank Andrea Sapp for her leadership and for coming with us on her first foray into the Sister Cities world. And in my opinion, she couldn't have been to a better place to be introduced to what the concept really means. And for me, moving to Chicago back in '99 from international work and then living in an international city, Washington, D.C., I was looking for some outlet for all of my international impulses and found Sister Cities. And it's been just tremendously rewarding ever since. So thanks to everybody who makes this happen and makes us look great on the international stage, and for fostering these really deep connections. And that's the one thing that we help this organization. So thanks to everybody, and I guess we'll congratulate ourselves for all of this. And thank you, Jose Luis, for your leadership now. It's really terrific. Thank you.
Thanks, Julie. And you established a really strong foundation for us to continue to grow from, and the work that the Casablanca committee does is just amazing. You're making life-changing impact in Casablanca, so thank you. And Ivana, I want to make sure we have everybody, so we will end with Ivana, and then we're going to move on to trivia with Ella.
Thank you, thank you. So I would like to express my appreciation, of course, for all of you. You know how much we love you. Warsaw Committee, yes. Anelka, where are you? Yes. And Adrienne. And thank you, Andrea. Thank you, all of you. Andy, yeah, you call her Andy. So Andy, yeah, I like that. So, and our new chairman, all of you are very close to our heart. And I'm really moved, very moved by this celebration. And 2020, there's no question about it. It is a difficult year for all of us. But I think that we got closer together, at least I feel that way, through a number of programs and new initiatives. 2020 brought us closer together. And someone mentioned, I guess, Jose Luis, he said that we are social beings, and that's true, because we just finished a very interesting event, State of Illinois. We participated in Web Summit 2020 in Lisbon, Portugal, and 17 companies from Illinois were represented, 7 startups from Chicago. Unbelievable. And do you know which icon was the most popular? Mingle. People just wanted to mingle, to talk, to reach out and have a conversation. A number of wonderful presentations, but still this human touch, person to person, it is so important. So many young people, many creative companies, and all of them, they expressed a hope that next year we're gonna simply get together in Portugal, in Lisbon, in Barcelona at Mobile World Congress. So technology is wonderful, but there's no replacement for person-to-person interaction, and we can see that. But in our case, in case of Chicago Sister City and Warsaw Committee, we are looking forward to New Year, and hopefully we can organize a number of wonderful events to celebrate our 60th anniversary as well. Such a special year for all of us, and also this is a great opportunity for me to say thank you for a wonderful recognition that I had the pleasure to accept and whatever. So thank you for that. It makes me very proud of it. It is proudly this. A statue is proudly displayed in our living room. So whoever visits, and we don't have too many visitors, but I always point out to this wonderful award, but also it gives me a chance to talk about sister cities, to make sure that people are aware of this important organization and great, powerful incentives that we had a chance to implement. So thank you again, all the best to all of you, and I'm very proud to be associated with such a wonderful group of people. Very proud. Thank you.
Thank you, Ivana. And yes, I cannot wait until we're back together again. And congratulations on the 60th anniversary, and congratulations on being named the 2020 Volunteer of the Year. It's very well deserved. And now I hope that you are all paying attention to the presentation. I know that there is a lot of information covered, but Ella is going to take it away with some trivia. And the winner will receive a gift certificate to one of our Taste of Sister Cities to Go restaurants.
Yes, indeed. All right, so we are excited. So you're going to go to kahoot.it. Music going. Love it. It's so jingly. Code is 68115. Right now we just have Lily. Okay, there we go.
The trick to answer the questions on your phone, not on the screen. That's where some people got tripped up this week.
Yeah, so you're playing on your phone, kahoot.it. And you type in the code and then you put your name. Oh, Andy has entered the trivia. Andy, if you get any of this wrong, no, just kidding. Do we have anybody else? One more? I have not. Kyle, all right. Hey, Louise. Okay, you're also, if you get any wrong, Louise. Okay, are we ready? Anybody else? My kind of town. Oh. All right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll give you one more 5 seconds. 5.
Now, where do I put in the number?
Oh, when you go straight to the website, kahoot.it, it will ask you for the pin.
You know, I just got onto, no.
So www.kahoot.it.
That's what I did, and I just got City of Chicago website. Oh, well, maybe I can't participate. I'll try. That's what I did.
Better. Get it?
No, I can't do it. Okay.
Okay. Wow.
Hey, is that everyone? Anybody else joining? All right.
Here we go. First question. Which president founded the Sister Cities movement? Hopefully everyone gets this all right.
Andy kept repeating it, and I was like, oh, Andy, stop saying that name so many times in your speech. You're giving it away.
Well, we can see who was listening.
Right. Oh, yes. Excellent. It was President Dwight D. Eisenhower. That is correct. Next question. On the scoreboard, we have Lily at the top. We have Tom, Steph, Bogotano, and Andy. All right. You also get points for how quickly you answer. So that's just something to keep in mind as you get ready to answer the next question. Which mayor signed Chicago's first sister city with Warsaw? One might be a little tricky. Might be one letter difference there. Richard J. Daley, yes. So it's off this one letter. It was the father who signed the first sister city, and then shortly after, Richard M. Daley signed a number of our sister city relationships. All right, Tom, you shot right to the top. And we have Andy in second place, Jose Luis in third, Lily and Stephanie. All right. Next question. How many events has CSCI hosted in the last 10 years? Last 10 years. Not 16. Five, four, three, two, one. The answer is 680. Yes, that is correct. It sometimes feels like 10,000, sometimes a million. The impact we've had is probably about that. The correct answer is 680. Oh, Jose Luis, you are on fire. You were moving all the way up to the top here, but we have Tom holding tight at number 1, Andy at number 2, Jose Luis, Lily, and then Stephanie. All right, fourth question. How many volunteers serve with CSCI? Hopefully you all know, because you're all volunteers.
That would be another one that we repeat a lot.
Yeah. One of these. Oh man, could you imagine if we had 75,000 plus? Correct. It is 600 plus volunteers. We just cannot thank you all enough for all of the work that you do to help us with our programming. Tom, you are holding out here at number 1 spot with 3,589 points. And then Andy, you're on fire this round. Jose Luis, Lily, and Stephanie. All right, last question. This is a multi-select, so you can choose more than one answer. What are the most important focus areas for CSCI? Is it a trick question? Maybe. Okay, 3, 2, 1. The correct answer is all of them. Yes, indeed. Those are all important for us with our sister cities work. All right, here's the podium. In third place with 5,440 points, My Kind of Town. In second place with 5,545, Tom. Wow, Wait, okay. And who's number one now? Andy. Oh my gosh. She pulled through in the last moment to win first place, 6,013 points. We love to see it. You know your numbers. So that is good to know. Okay, let me turn off this music because I think I can still hear it. Okay, there we go. Excellent. Thank you all for playing.
My super type A competitive streak came out. I apologize. You're not supposed to do that when you're the CEO. You're supposed to like chillax, let the volunteers win. Couldn't do it. Sorry.
We'll have to share at some point the competition that WBC staff does over the holidays. Our holiday parties are not relaxing. It's the Sister Cities team competes, and I think we're the 2-year reigning champions of our.
We are indeed.
Yes, we are. We are the champions.
Should we sing that this year? I feel like that might be appropriate.
Yes. Next time, we'll save it for next time. But just to wrap it up, I just want to thank all of you. I know that this year has been a challenge for many of us. Times have changed, and hopefully they will change again, so we can celebrate our community together the way that we do best with food and culture. But I'm extremely proud of all that we've accomplished together this year and for the past 60 years. And I want to thank our volunteers again. You are the heart of the mission. You spend countless hours building relationships, and all of your hard work pays off. You make a difference, and you will continue to change lives. Thank you to everybody who's shared their work and their memories over this past week. And now I'd like to raise a glass with all of you. I hope you prepared with your glasses. It is my absolute honor to work with each of you and the privilege to take part in the incredible programs that impact so many. This year, we've proven that a pandemic can't stop us from connecting and from learning with each other. And next year, we'll honor our great legacy of citizen diplomacy while we continue to be innovative with our programming. And I look forward to all that we accomplish together. Thank you to our volunteers. Salute.
Hello. Come Congratulations.
Salud, combe.
Combe. Salud.
Plancha.
Salud. Cheers.
Plancha.
Nostrovia.
I was in Galway 1 year ago tonight.
Oh.
Yeah. So Gabrielle, I'm with you. Oh, I
My
don't blame
mentee
you
is from Galway.
So when are you going to have the past meetings posted?
We have those up probably sometime next week.
Okay.
Those on our YouTube.
Great. Thank you.
But it's been an incredible week, and it's just been really great. I could see all the ideas churning over the week as people were talking about what they've done and sharing ideas. So we'll definitely start planning some informal meetings where people can get together and share best practices. It's just been so inspiring, like remembering some of these projects. All right, everybody.
Congratulations to everybody.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I just want to say thank you to Adrienne and Annelle and Ella and Jess.
Yes.
You guys have done a great job in leading this effort and in putting this work together. There is no Sister Cities without volunteers, but the volunteers need support and the work, and you guys are tireless in your commitment. So I just want to say thank you.
Thank you, Andy, and yes, thank you to the Sister Cities team. You guys are incredible. You don't stop, and you always amaze me with all your new ideas. So it's going to be a great 2021. We're all
yes.
Bye.
Thank you. Happy Friday.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy New Year, everyone.